I am so confused. Like, this used to be Brutal John, right? Just the one. Now it's 2. I don't get this, man. I feel like I just talked about this game and it was just Brutal John. It was in a roundup, which I should really stop doing those. Alright, here we go. It was re-announced as Brutal John 2. There is no Brutal John 1, and there never was. They revamped a lot of stuff and announced it April 29th, 2025. Hey, wait. Okay, I'm being told that there's Doom the Dark Ages and DLC for that, and I'll totally make a video on it as soon as I find the patience to finish the post-game stuff in the DLC. Any day now. Glad they locked the final boss behind all this shit. You'll all have to wait possibly forever for me to say this archvile is a pain in the ass, and to have 1,000 comments about how I could kill it in 3 seconds if I just quick spear slash shotgun fly hook double ollie Alaskan pipeline him. Man, I love Doom, but I hate Doom discourse. I played Brutal John 2 in early access. I mean, it's still in early access, but that's fine. This looks like a pleasant game with a no-nonsense protagonist, a Duke Nukem, a serious Sam, fighting against a villain so evil that Gianni has to introduce him.
Lucilian the Evil Mutant has captured the world using crypto mining technologies. He is the main mining boss of the universe. Those who control crypto mining control the world. And only 2 real men can stop this madness.
Well, that's a dog, smoking a cigar, and the other one is an angry beer-soaked mustache that smokes through his teeth. Some of you in the audience will have the urge to take this game seriously, and I need you to suppress that. If you start doing that, you're not going to make it. Close the video. Stand up, stretch, take a walk, leave your phone behind, enjoy a nice salad, and get some fresh air.
Time to destroy this piece of shit.
Brutal John 2.
Level 1, Crazy Train. We're just starting out with the vehicle level, huh? No foreplay, no nothing. Also, you are dog. Brutal dog.
How did I even end up on this train?
And as you can see, graphics. This doubles as a tutorial level because the game needs to teach you how to brutal. Kicking, shooting, jumping.
Time to bring the pain. You are dead. Just accept it.
Oh, hello, Gordon.
Hey, dog.
Whoa, man, you were actually talking. We all thought you were always quiet.
Gordon Freeman will return in Brutal John Doomsday. Why not? They're doing a fucking multiverse Serious Sam now, I hear. It's a co-op roguelite.
Good luck.
I mean that, I really do. Alright, so the joke is Gordon Freeman is talking. That's not great, it's just kind of there. What else you got? A double-barreled, no, wait, a quad barrel? I don't know, but it's accurate at 3 feet and not at 6. And Brutal Dog reloads it with telekinesis. You try grabbing stuff with paws. Shotgun spreads in this game are wide and not tall. Think of it like using a shotgun from GTA 3. The way enemies die, the punch of the weapons, and the feedback have all been improved, which is good, because they were kind of flat before. They're bluntly improved, like the designers know they're supposed to be there, and the sound carries a lot of the weight of it.
Damn reptiloids.
Jibs though, this game is so hyper-violent that you get kinda numb to it. Like I'm already covered in alien blood. I've been playing for 50 seconds. Also, if you'll notice the stats on the top left, they'll tell you the secret treasure and mining rig count. In front of me is a mining rig. If you have somehow made it this far through the showers of viscera and blowing up a mining rig makes you uncomfortable, the enemy count is a lie. More can spawn in, don't worry about it. I'm not saying the game is trying too hard, but the next car has pig cops and a dope fish, there he is. And I don't mean ersatz pig cops, I mean they make the same sounds. Wow, that train sure was crazy. Reminds me of the beginning of Blood 2, except it doesn't suck and we actually get to see the train crash. Of course the train crashes. You don't get it. This is Brutal John 2. This isn't just a train crash, this is the first train crash. Brutal Dog is fine, whatever's been done to him has made him a lot better than the average dog at riding in things. And now it's minigun time and I'm showing you the entire intro to this level. You're missing nothing.
Let's rock.
As much as I'd like to chide the writing of this game as simply repeating cool things other people said first, I feel it might be a little hypocritical.
Let's rock. Come get some. Hail to the king, baby.
It's all the reflexes.
I live again. Oh, shake it, baby.
minigun. Hold down secondary to keep it wound up. The barrel gets all glowy but never overheats, and you mow down a horde of aliens until a scripted pig cop knocks you out. And then Brutal John wakes up. He wears his bandolier to bed, and his boots, and his cigar.
What a shit dream I had. I could use a beer. That's gonna be a fine start.
So Brutal John is an alcoholic, and I think he has some rage issues if all the broken monitors are anything to go by.
I'll be damned if I'm not looking brutal.
This is not a healthy person's home. Why is your ceiling metal?
John, fridge is empty. Your turn to hit the beer store.
Yeah, the beer store. You're just gonna keep playing that NES game? Wait a minute. What the fuck is this? This looks so cursed you'd have to formally invite it into the house first. You're like, they made a whole ass Civvie platformer in this game, and no, not exactly, because it's very similar to the other arcade cabinets you'll find throughout that open secrets by getting a high score or reaching level 3. So there are several other nearly identical platformers. Zlim Bratsky gets one too, and that's not even counting the other handful of 8-bit pixelated games scattered throughout. I guess this one gets 3. It's like a nested 3, though. It's like, you know how weird it is to play something like this, realize you're known for sewers, and then Kotaku puts up clickbait about you being a fucking shooter historian? Like, I don't even remember saying any of that. No, I love being misrepresented in a headline that people scroll by. I hope the 32 likes was worth it. Incredible. I've never seen anyone get more likes on Blue Sky. I can't think of an insult more potent than that. My Uncle Frank is in another castle. Good. Are we really out of beer? I should stop stealing from my own house and head to the beer store before I start getting the shakes.
Oh, what's that smell? Oh, right. That's fresh air.
I guess it was a dream. This dog isn't roided up. Like, he's still wearing sunglasses, which is rob my neighbors who are aliens. They're not fooling me. Well, I'm covered in blood and tried to beat up the cameo outside, and I break the ATMs inside so the police show up. Oh shit, the dream turned out to be perfect. Why didn't I dream about naked girls? Okay, kids, start taking the game seriously because I'm starting to think this is a psychotic episode brought on by withdrawal.
Hell yeah, I like boomer shooters. How can you tell?
Pistol is good, though, and before you even hit the streets again, you've got another.
Greetings, fleshbags. Rejoice. With the help of mining technologies, we lulled your vigilance and seeded your planet with reptiloids.
And you know, I want to go home after shooting through a few dozen more aliens, but this newly open house nags at me. That could be a fun secret.
Ah, hell. Rubbing neighbors is a bad idea.
Since when? I don't recognize these people. Please leave a link to their social media in the comments. The algorithm requires engagement. The cigar fell out of his mouth. This is serious business.
Say hello to man's better friend. The hell is that?
That's the last time anyone questions this happening. Brutal Dog has now joined your party.
Alright, team. Luzilian dies today, and we take our planet back.
Yeah, and we have got beer for after party, but no cash for rockets. Dog is right. Let's grab some credits. Luzilian's World should do. I want to personally kick Luzilian's ass.
Then we can go pay him a visit. He's in the office now.
Really, the slightly borked English translation makes it funnier. We are going to gloss over the thing with the dog, and that the dog knows how to drive, handle weapons. Jessica's just on the back of the truck firing into the air next to all of the explosives in the world. Finally, the knife. A better melee weapon than the fist, despite the fact that Brutal John's forearms are thicker than his chest. It's very good once you can get the timing down and can slice through a lot of the smaller enemies pretty effectively. I don't even have time for bits because this game is moving on to the next bit.
This technology will allow us to make non-fungible clones. Each clone cannot be replaced by another clone.
So yeah, this game has been in development for a while.
But we can just make a clone of non-fungible clone. What's the point of this technology?
Hey, that's Human's right. Lucidian, you're trying to trick us. Yeah, we're not invested in your NFT project.
He is in fact too strong to fight now, and we have to run. I have auto run on because I know what kind of game this is. They blow up the place and leave, and Lucilian delivers my favorite joke throughout this whole thing, which is his constant childish hatred of Brutal John. It's so dumb, it's perfect.
Fucking Brutal John.
So we go to the space bank to rob that. Jessica eats an entire burger between cuts, and John eats one through a cigar. I don't think there's a shot in any of these cutscenes that isn't weird and uncanny and makes no goddamn sense.
Alright, I'll go hack the security now.
Looks like the lunch time is over.
Yeah, we need to get to work. He's terrible at this, but in his defense, he's a dog. I win 2 energy drinks, which we'll use a lot more later. They give you a speed boost. I don't think I'm on a peaceful mission, so all these alien bystanders are getting it.
Now let's kill that fucking band.
The next genre of secret revealing arcade game is FPS. Primitive, charming 8-bit nonsense that isn't really hard. Space reptiloids. Blast through 2 levels, then face the boss. See, this is what games will look like in the future without AI, and I can't jerk off to this. Strangely, this game has weapon reloading for most guns, the shotgun included. Remember, widespread. It isn't completely useless at medium range, but it borders on it. It's time for more content creators I don't know and feel bad about not knowing, but hey, at least this one isn't trying to kill me.
Have you ever even seen a shooter with rain?
I think so, but now I'm questioning myself. This game is trying to distract me while having Kiss Psycho Circus-style monster spawners. Don't be taken in. And fuck this treasure statue's hitbox.
Bam!
Enemy encounters are very much Serious Sam-like, where you go into a room and it spawns a lot of them. The weapon I have now, Duke Nukem's chain gun cannon directed by J.J. Abrams, also reloads, and was at the crux of my problems with the gunplay back when I first played this. There's tons of weapons, but you didn't really get ammo for all of them, and they didn't stand out much. Like this one versus the other assault rifle, where the difference was that one had a scope and the other has an attack you can pay to unlock. Don't worry about that. There's only like 4 weapon attacks you have to pay for, and you make so much money that you can unlock all of them before you even have the weapons they upgrade. I have now completed this game 3 times, and I will never remember that there's a slow-mo mechanic during regular play. It has a cooldown time of 10 seconds and charges faster when you kill things. You could be using it pretty much as often as you want. Brutal Dog is still following you and supporting. He's a good dog. And I'm shocked that a game that is as deliberately stupid as this one took the time to make him do flips through environmental traps. And you're competing with him to steal the most cash. I'm trying to glean the objectives here, where first it was to get beer and then get money so we can buy rockets. This game has worse ADHD than I do because it breaks up the somewhat monotonous combat with jokes. Kill the boss of this area? Well, Lucilian doesn't really like that.
You robbed my bank. You killed my best Croco.
You fucked up my face.
Die, fucking Brutal John. Fucking die.
Brutal John gets shot down, but we can't worry about that now because the dog is low on fuel and we have another train level. A space train! Finally, grenades. They work more like pipe bombs in Duke 3D. Press the button to throw, press it again to detonate. How many times do I need to kill this band?
No, human pastimes.
Right, so space strip club on a train. I wouldn't want to be pole dancing on a train, but...
Hey, dog, join Mining Federation. You'll become human and get any girl you want. I promise.
Oh.
Why?
Because I like bitches. The ones that bark, not dog back.
The context of being a dog is doing all the heavy lifting here.
Hey, you are pretty good for a human. Will you teach me to dance, baby? Here, take this. I've got plenty more.
Oh no, rookie mistake. Do not announce that.
Your smell is driving me crazy, baby.
Right, because he's a dog and he can probably smell them from a mile away. I myself cannot. The dog has a minigun too, which is really necessary as the spawned enemy groups get bigger. This game registers headshots, so aim high.
Join the Mining Federation, and I'll build you the finest strip club with bitches, just for you.
No.
Why?
I have enough beaches in my front yard. I mean, female dogs. Relax.
No, you don't get to tell me to relax as if that's shocking. You're wrapping it around a dad joke. Okay, clear the train, get to the front, start the fuel pumps, clear the train again, and then gas up. And then it's time for the fall of Brutal John.
Damn. This Brazilian bastard is gonna pay for shooting at my ride.
Like I said, in earlier builds it was kind of flat, which doesn't pair well with the hordes of the same 5 or 6 enemies. And I want to talk about this game, at least that's what they told me. It came out of the Boomshoot too.
Let it take root.
No, I will not be won over by this game's obviously earnest Boomshoot fandom, as well as clear love of weird Slav jank that is so deep they make all of the vocal performances sound like this.
Brutal John is gonna die.
I don't think so, you scaly pussy.
Oh, now that's a bad image in my head. I'm over here imagining the texture of scaly pussy. Not even Cheech offered scaly pussy. I'm guessing it's more than a penny anyway. Let me ask you something, Brutal John 2. What did I have for breakfast this morning? I assume you can tell with your tongue this far up my ass. Work the balls. I don't hate sewer levels and capstone. Fucking Katie ass at it.
Fuck. Sewers? What the hell was that about sewers?
I don't know, man. I can't believe we're over 300, but I'm glad someone's been keeping count. Level design. It's a thing in games. This is a game that sits somewhere in the middle between having open levels like Doom and having arenas connected by hallways like Serious Sam or, Doom, I guess. So there are little branching areas and secrets. Lots of secrets. The encounters start getting a little harder now with the addition of tankier enemies. You could be fooled into thinking they were making a shitpost game, and they are, but they at least realize that a shitpost game still has to run and play well enough. So the levels aren't confusing. It would be a little against the spirit of the game if they were mazes. So for most of the game when you're not in space, you're in more realistic environments. This is where the Duke DNA comes in. But this game is more like if Duke Nukem and Serious Sam had a kid and Duke bailed because he's not about that life. So it was raised by a single parent in the Croatian wilderness, and we're gonna get that whole story in Serious Sam Shatterverse. Cause we ain't getting it in a Duke Nukem game. Here's something. This is way more Duke Nukem 1 and 2 than 3D.
What kind of an asshole puts a bomb in a locker?
Like, it's fun and it plays fine, but the focus is on the gags and the vibe. I mean, how many of these weapons are straight up from other games? Let's not even count the minigun or something generic like shotguns. The grenades work like Duke's pipe bombs, the chain gun cannon thing, this Devastator thing, which is a Devastator. This isn't the case where something is maliciously ripping something else off. Brutal John 2 fucking loves these games. It all feels like it's from the heart, so I do feel a little bad when the jokes don't land.
You wield a minigun, fears not.
It is, for better or worse, steeped in a culture that I myself am somewhat responsible for. Honestly, it's so surreal to see the way the story plays out against the backdrop of the actual game, which has really good art direction. Way better looking than it has any right to be. You've got your low-poly skins with blocky textures, and it doesn't feel like when Phantom Fury does it. Brutal John doesn't look like any of those games. For how cartoonish it is, it doesn't even look like Serious Sam 2. It has its own flavor of crustiness bathed in neon. The kind of thing that couldn't exist when its inspirations came out. Now, you needed modern-day Unity for that. This is actually the second boss of the game here. The first one was earlier and not much different. This is still Boomshoot enough for most of the bosses to be simple circle strafing targets.
I'm good. You're bad. And you're also ugly.
Brutal John 2 does everything it can with its modest development resources, and it aspires to be more than being Duke Nukem 3D. No, it wants to be like Duke Nukem Forever. No, not like that. It wants to be the Duke Nukem Forever we were promised in 2001. The one we always dreamed about, and not the one where a woman talks about shoving a miniaturized Duke in her cooch. I know not the gravest of that game's sins, but we're trying to have fun. So Brutal John walks into a strip club.
Well, ain't that beautiful? What the hell? Oh, much better.
John, what are you doing there?
I'm in a movie theater, Jessica.
Okay.
I'm not just saying it as a man in a strip club, but damn, nice moves. Here, can I lay down my head on your thighs?
John, you got a baddie at home with a much higher poly count, that's all I'm saying. I could ogle the strippers, I guess, but there's an arcade game over here. Fist of Guts. There are some questionable design decisions here and there. Like the game gives you a plasma gun, spawns 3 guys, and then says, nah, actually it's time for the vehicle section. Plasma gun is good too. High damage, lightning secondary that I unlock ASAP because I've played this before and I know it does this. This massive tank can't make turns very well, but it has a machine gun and rocket launchers that are so ridiculous that I didn't notice until reviewing the footage that they had an overheating mechanic. It never happened.
Not this time. It never happened. It's an urban legend that never happened. We got you.
Brutal John 2's entire ethos is entertainment. It's so fucking pure and innocent while plastered with alien guts. It is a very stupid game with the subtlety of the Best Picture winner, but it knows this. It aspires to this. Fire as many missiles as you want. Whatever. Look at the Steam page. What game are you expecting? Y'all don't understand. I play a lot of boomer shooters. They don't give you a tank and let you steamroll over crowds of aliens. They don't try this hard to keep the player's attention throughout. Yeah, the voice acting is a joke in this game, but there's also tons of it. This is what AA gaming felt like in the 2000s, and usually it wasn't this polished. But you might not care because Brutal John 2 really isn't about the story. Because the story is nonsense. Aliens invade, Brutal John, Jessica, and Brutal Dog set out to stop them and get beer and rob casinos and shit, you know, and have a boss fight in a stadium that leans a little heavy on the Duke. Just a little. I'm getting ahead of myself. There's a small secret level inside the stadium if you happen to notice this vent next to the exit in your field of view that's marked with a dopefish and is bathed in very conspicuous purple light. Not to digress again, but that purple light is actually part of a more subtle gag that I fucking love, which is that you have glow sticks to mark paths like in modern games, you know? But every time there's like 12 of them. Someone dropped a dozen glow sticks just to help you find this incredibly obvious path.
Secret level.
You know, that secret level voice is just like the one they did in Duke. This is where I grabbed the rest of the weapon upgrades. These shops also give consumable items, health, and armor, and I always have enough money for whatever wasn't the expensive weapon attachments. It isn't that different from a normal level aside from gearing you up. Oh, and the first appearance of Gianni. Hi, Gianni.
Hello! I'm Crazy Phoenix! This is my gun shop!
Brutal John 2 is at its best when it's surprising you with random bullshit. The kind of thing that the designers throw in because they can. Brutal John 2 is at its worst when it's a hazy simulacrum of Duke Nukem 3D. That reaches its peak and thankfully stops with this boss. Like, this bothers me because the gameplay isn't even different. You know what I do? I get up in the stands and shoot him with the Devastator, and then I run out of ammo and use lightning.
Try some fitness next time.
This gets the attention of boomer shooter YouTuber, God, that phrase felt less comfortable in my mouth than a gun, Zlimbrotsky, who has turned to bounty hunting as any smart entrepreneur would.
Looks like my retirement fund just got a face. And a name.
John hops onto a nearby train. We're not doing another train level yet because that's exactly what you're expecting. No, we're switching back to Brutal Dog and Jessica.
Let's go help John.
Who leap from the most explosive truck ever designed. Go for tough!
Brutal Dog, join Mining Federation. We have bitches for you.
Your mom doesn't count. Get lost.
A terrible part of me I don't hide very well enjoys how fucking asinine the conversations with the main villain are. The game starts to lean more into its strengths as it goes on. A boss fight on the highway. It's arcadey in a way that the game usually succeeds at. Oh yeah, and you can shoot down rockets. This is extremely important going forward. Like you're leaping between vehicles and getting hit hard. This is the first place I took more than one death. It's not from falling off because this is a modern game and you just get teleported to safety. I'm talking about the rockets flying at you when you've got about 10 square feet to move around. I know that you got the impression that we were going to help John, what with Jessica saying,
"Let's go help John."
Now we're stealing a beer truck. The world continues to go on despite the alien invasion. End of level. Brutal John is still on the train. That's right, we're crashing another train because this is Brutal John 2.
Damn. This train is so strange.
It is thankfully different from the previous 2 train levels. You're pressing forward, it dumps harder enemies onto you that take a lot more punishment, and has sensible small arenas.
I need to stop this damn pain train.
No, not yet, I just remembered I have slow-mo.
Crap! I gotta stop it!
No, you don't. You have to crash it.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, that's what happens when you focus entirely on the arms, bro.
Man, it's so fucking hot in this goddamn desert.
Yeah, this desert full of coconut trees. Are you suggesting that coconut trees are my... Oh, fuck!
A bar! If I don't get a beer, I'll turn into a sand corpse.
This game turns into something clearly Duke Nukem Forever inspired again, but the good one we didn't really get where Duke rode a motorcycle and didn't run out of gas every 2 minutes. We are going to Bibix Town on a brutal Slim limited edition motorcycle. There's a newspaper in this bar that says this motherfucker is broke and he's got his own line of virtually indestructible bikes. And we've got just a light touch of Highway 17 kids riding around on our motorcycle and stopping to investigate interesting locations like this. Wow, I can't believe they got Asmongold to cameo. That's a hell of a pull. I'm kidding, that's clearly not what this is because the shower's been used.
Oh, you leave again!
I remember this.
The motorcycle handles a bit better than the tank.
Man, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you?
No, fuck you. Don't move.
Damn, no signal again.
Oh, yeah! Welcome, Brutal John!
Yo, Bibix! Can I have your autograph? Hold on a minute. The whole thing looks kinda suspicious, I think.
Crazy Bibix, you smarty bastard. You got Brutal John. Now bring me his ass with chicken strips, and I will write off all your restaurant debts.
See, right there? It's so mundane, yet the fate of the fucking world is going to be decided in a fight with this guy.
bitch.
He is a bitch. He's got several phases and I use his one weakness, the conductivity of his cookware. Like, is this intentional? Because lightning fucks him up. But look at how he's moving. He must have 100%ed getting over it. He doesn't even die. He drops you through a trap door. And then Slim makes a fucking NFT of Brutal John because the bounty wasn't enough, right? Greedy bastard. I'm not at all jealous of his ability to keep up with Boomshoots. He funged me. I'm trying to take my time with this game. I'm enjoying it. The shooting isn't the best. It's more emulating Serious Sam in its lightness. Jibs are confetti, rib cages are streamers. The world around you is made of paper. I stop to kick every single one of these harmless reptiloids that I see. Every single one. Because it makes me happy. And that's probably not healthy, but you guys can't see me gesturing fucking everywhere. This is one big Brutal John party, and while the game does get more difficult, it is made to maximize the feeling of being a wall of sentient meat that can aim weapons and process superhuman amounts of alcohol. Really, seriously, John. We're headed into a spaceship graveyard because the beer got stolen, and I'm watching this footage back and I don't think I could tell you what's going on. My brain doesn't assign any more importance to the story beats in this game than it does to the block puzzle cabinet. Slim brings a clone of Brutal John to Luzillian. This game is dangerously close to having a coherent narrative. I get why Slim kidnapped him now. 1.5 million bounty is cool, but a casino prints money. Solid financial decision. I wonder why he went bankrupt. So now the plan is to hijack his casino to get Luzillian, which is not important. Get a load of this game's best level. Unique among the city levels, interesting, the least Duke 3D-like of the city levels in this game, and it has an entire area that is the rooftop from Hollywood Holocaust. This game intends to keep throwing shit at you to keep you from getting bored, and it mostly works. Slim's Casino is a game-filled space station where he waits to fight Brutal Dog, who I'm convinced is this game's real protagonist because he's the only one with character development. Look, he was a meme dog. Now he's a bigger meme dog. Slim is harder than the previous bosses because he knows how to move in circles around this arena. His first phase he's got submachine guns and then he gets missiles, but he forgets that you can shoot down projectiles in this game, so...
Bad dog. A very, very bad dog. Ugh.
Time to sleep, Brutal Sleep.
Sometimes you put the dog to sleep, sometimes the dog puts you to sleep.
Good. Now we just need to get into Luzillian's spaceship undetected.
What the fuck?
We've arrived at the space station where Luzillian's funging the shit out of Brutal John. Just funging his brains out all over the place. I like to call this a victory lap level. You've gotten through the hardest parts of the game, and now it's time to do some cathartic bloodshed. The enemies that spawn are numerous and tough, but there are a couple of things that make it easier. One is the railgun, which one-hits these annoying mechs.
Fucking Brutal Slim, fucking Brutal John. You Earthlings have finally pissed me off. You're all going to die.
The other is Brutal Dog, who doesn't have great AI, but the enemies love to attack him. They saved a bunch of their references for the end here. Those little reptiloids, man, you can just dress them up in anything. They could be marketed like fucking minions. We've got Darth Vader Reptiloid.
May the Force.
Doom Guy Reptiloid.
That's one doomed Space Marine.
Ranger Reptiloid. And of course, another reference to some hack YouTuber nobody's ever heard of behind this dangerous prisoners sign. Look at this game's been in development for like 3 set renovations. The big brutal John boss fight is as simple as can be. Hide behind pillars when he fires his minigun. The Big John Brutal John, the Brutal Big John, the NFT Brutal Big John, the funged copy of Brutal John that is actually evil Big John, who I thought was already evil because he keeps trying to kill me. Fucking Brutal Dog. The game does force you through a couple of tougher rooms without Brutal Dog to back you up. I stock up on pizza and energy drinks and go to fight Lucillian.
This is where you die, Brutal John. Right here, right now.
Finally. When I'm done with you, your ass is gonna be able to fit the whole planet in it.
Yeah, after Slim, the bosses actually dodge your attacks. Once he starts using railguns, it's time to turn on the slow-mo. He does the thing, where he recharges on vaguely sciencey electricity poles that you have to destroy. But this is Brutal John too, so this spaceship needs to crash. We need to have a chase section on a boat, and then he has to grow, and his next form is a bit more interesting. Aerial bombardment and still getting wrecked by slow-mo. Glad I remembered that exists. So, funny story, I was playing this and I beat the boss and I went to take a note while the cutscene was playing and I forgot there was a quick time event here because it's the only one in the entire game. And so I didn't press that button. So I just sat there watching him beat the shit out of my dog.
Motherfucker, look out.
So I didn't touch the button, and Brutal John did it anyway. Which is a joke, I think, and one I'm glad to have seen. John is gravely injured.
Damn, I need some beers.
But you have so much beer, John. So much beer.
Fucking Brutal John.
Brutal John 2.
Holy shit, that was the best game in the world. Yeah, baby.
That's the end. We have reached the beach. Meat and beer, and you're all still carrying ammo, and your dog is a mutant? Was this John brutal enough? Vote now.